welcome back to Crazy Little Book Page, where I talk about books and the pages in them. So, we're on a mission to go to this place called Reversing Falls in my city. First, we gotta stop and get gas, though, and then we're gonna stop at Wendy's after we go there. I'm about 90 pages in to Lipstick Voodoo, so I'm about 10% of the way. So far it's really good. I'm enjoying it. So I can't really give away the story, but it's still following Kincaid and her ghost roommate Nathan Cade. However, Nathan has gotten himself into a little bit of trouble, and they're trying to figure out how to get him out of it. So there's that. I haven't really picked up Strange the Dreamer lately. I think it's just because I've been sick and I haven't really been into reading that kind of in-depth book, because it is really in-depth. So there's that. But I'm hoping to get to it more this week. I'll film a little bit while we're at Reversing Falls so you guys can see how nice it is there. I don't know if it's really nice, but it's kind of neat because when the tide is going out, the falls go one way, and then when they come in, they go another way. So it's kind of a weird effect, I guess, of the tides. So we're being stopped by this wonderful train. Who knows how long it is? It's been going for about 5 minutes now.
It's over.
Oh, it's over. Let's go. Excuse the music in my... I do not own the rights to this music. It's just on the radio. Oh my god, my husband is crazy. He's on very icy sidewalks. Oh my god. Okay, enough. Cool. We're gonna get out so you can see the falls here. Don't go too close to the water. Don't go too close to the fence. My husband is very, very crazy. This is the falls. Over there is the Irving Pulp Mill, where they make like toilet paper and stuff. Here's the falls. You can't really see them, it's really dark. I would like to talk about something. I lost a couple followers on YouTube, and I'm guessing it's because I made a comment about how a book about Donald Trump should be burned. Let's note here that I don't actually think that books should be burned. I don't think that that's appropriate. However, my opinions are mine alone. I love America. I love Americans, but I think that your political leader right now is not good for your country. He's not good for global countries. He's not very keen to play nice with people, so I don't think that we should be giving him any more airtime than absolutely necessary. So that's where my comment came from. I'm not condoning burning books. I promise you, I don't agree with that practice, and I don't think it's a practice that should ever happen. Given that, I am a Canadian, and I don't always agree with your American politics, and I get that might make people upset. It doesn't mean that I don't appreciate Americans. My husband is an American citizen. My in-laws are American. I very much think that most American people are very nice and good to get along. So if you're not staying on my channel because of the fact that you think that I'm somehow vilifying America or giving negative opinions about Americans, that's fine. I totally respect your opinion, but I'm not gonna stop saying on my channel the things that bother me or the things that I don't approve of, or even giving my opinions, because this is my channel and that's just how it is. And if it's gonna make me lose followers because of it, no big deal. But I just wanted to address that because it happened within the last day of me putting that up. So I kind of made the correlation. If that's not the case, then that's fine. But I felt like that's part of the reason, and I apologize. There's nothing I can say that I'm sorry for. I am 115 pages through Lipstick Voodoo. I'm about to start chapter 7. So I'm about a quarter of the way through this book. I am really enjoying it so far. Still in love with Kincaid's character. Still in love with the Nathan Cade story. Looking forward to getting to know more about the mystery that's happening in here. All around, I'm hoping to have this done by the end of the month so I can say that I've kicked off the year with a good start on reading. 6 books in a month, that's pretty good. That I've read over 1,100 pages so far this month, so I'm happy with that. But I'm hoping to get this one kicked out tomorrow. I don't have anything to do other than clean my living room tomorrow. So after I'm done that, I'm just gonna read this book and hopefully kick out a big chunk of Strange the Dreamer and read a little bit more in that. Even if I don't get Strange the Dreamer completely done tomorrow, I will be okay with getting it 50% or even more done. But I am planning to finish this one tomorrow and kick one more out before the end of the month. So hopefully that will happen. So I got to page 123 of Lipstick Voodoo after reading a few more pages from my last clip, and now I'm going to watch The Hate You Give because I've been waiting for that movie to come out on DVD, and I read the book in 2018. It was one of my favorite books of 2018, so I'm really excited to watch the movie adaptation of it and see how it compares to the book. So I'll let you know after we're done how it fared out. I just finished the movie The Hate You Give, and oh, the slight is harsh, I'm sorry. It was a great movie. A lot of the emotional parts of the book that were in it were in this movie, and it followed the book pretty well. So if you have not seen it yet, you should really see it. It was amazingly it was an amazingly written screenplay. The emotions in it were very well done. The acting was perfect. They couldn't have chose better actors for this movie. It was much better than I expected it to be, and frequently when you have a movie written based on a book, it doesn't live up to the hype of the book, and it doesn't follow the book, but much like Stephen King adaptations, this movie did follow the book quite well, which I really appreciated. And if I could say anything about it, it did bring the visualizations that I had in the book to life. So 5 out of 5 star movie, really liked it. I think it's a good adaptation of the book, so I do highly recommend watching The Hate U Give. Even if you don't read the book, I think that you'll still get the message across from the movie, so I highly recommend the movie. I just wanted to come and quickly film my book haul for January. There weren't many books. I only paid for 3 of them. 2 I got free. So let's just get right into it. So the first book I picked up this month was, these are not in the order that I got them though, actually, was The Voodoo Killings by Christy Cherish. The next book I got was Lipstick Voodoo by Christy Cherish, which is the second in the Kincaid Strange series. This one is the first. The next book that I got was The Plot to Kill King, The Truth Behind the Assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. And I picked it up because it was only $7, and I'm really interested in American and Canadian history, especially from the time period of the civil rights movement and the slavery abolition, so like the 1920s, before the 1920s, the 1800s, the 1960s, those kinds of that era of time. So that's why I picked this up, because again, I'm really interested in civil rights movement, the abolition area, the slavery abolition area, civil right, like the Civil War, that kind of stuff. The next book that I got was a freebie, and I picked it up at our local Boys and Girls Club. It's called When by Victoria Laurie, and I already vlogged about this, so check out my first or second video from this month. So again, that's called When by Victoria Laurie. And then the last book that I got this month was a book I must have won on Goodreads, because I don't remember. It said it was a freebie, so it's called Your Country, My Country, and it's a unified history of the United States and Canada. And obviously I am interested in this book because of the fact that, you know, I'm Canadian, my husband is American, and I'm interested in how our politics intertwine. It seemed like a good book. It's probably pretty in-depth because it is a unified history, so it's probably really in-depth. It's only, let's see here, 346 pages, so shouldn't be too long or too hard to read. I'll give you a review of how I like this when I'm finished reading it. This is probably going to be my last video of the week. Just a short video this week because, well, it's February 1st. I got, let's see, I'm pretty sure I got like 5.5 books done, plus like a quarter of Strange the Dreamer, so we'll say 5.5 plus a quarter. I don't know. 5 3/4 books? Let's go with that. Done this month. I really wanted to be done Lipstick Voodoo before February, but I just like been really stressed lately, and I just, yeah. So I'm like 54% through Lipstick Voodoo. So I'll probably be done that today because I'm only like, I only have like 160 70 something pages left to go, and I'm reading it currently, so I'll probably be done that today. Another mystery thriller that I want to read. Sorry. So today I'm just going to talk about my February 2019 TBR, my very ambitious TBR, because I have 2 really huge books. Plus, I want to finish the book that I'm reading on my Kindle app this month, and I want to finish Strange the Dreamer this month. So along with the books that I have on my February TBR, I have 2 that I want to finish this month that I started in January. So I hope that I can get all 7 of these books finished and done this month. So the first book that I'm hoping to read, and I'm not going to read these in any particular order that I show you them in, they're just books I want to read in February. So the first book that I want to read is called The Sheriff's Catch by James Vella Barden, and I got this book from the author himself for review, and it's about a jewel thief who is trying to escape the Spanish ship fleets, I guess. So the back says 1588. Abel de Santiago has deserted the army and all but avenged his murdered wife when he is captured and sold as a galley slave. As the Spanish Armada sails for England, there can be few souls on board more reluctant than him. After a crushing defeat to the enemy fleet, the Spanish ships are battered by extraordinary storms, and Santiago finds himself washed ashore in Ireland, a country terrorized by English troops that the natives call Sassenachs. But Santiago's faint hope of survival appear dashed when he is captured by a brutal sheriff who has orders from Dublin to torture and kill all Spanish castaways. An unlikely escape has Santiago flee with a jeweled ring worth a king's ransom. His flight leads to a desperate chase across a strange and stunning land where danger lurks at every turn. So begins The Sheriff's Catch, part 1 of the Sassana Stone pentology. So it's a pentology about a guy who's trying to avenge his wife's murder and ends up with this ring and has to flee with it, obviously, because he's been captured not only by the Spanish fleets, but also the English troops that have been ordered to kill all these Spanish castaways. So it seems like a good book, and I've had it for 6 months now. I promised a review, so I'm going to read it in February because the review needs to happen. The next book I have on my list is called Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios. The only thing I know about this is it's about a girl who's in like a it's about toxic relationships. I don't know much more than that, but Kayla over at Books and Lala really enjoyed this book, and it's been on my TBR since early 2018, and I've wanted to read it, so I hope to read it in February. It's fairly decently sized. It's 356 pages, so we'll get to that in February. The next book that I want to read is called Watching You. This is a new thriller by Lisa Jewell that came out at the end of 2018 in December. I don't know anything about this book. I don't want to know anything about this book. I like going into my thrillers not knowing anything about them, so I'm not going to read the synopsis. I'm just very excited to read it because Lisa Jewell is a very good thriller writer, and I really, really enjoy her books. The next book I want to read is a big honkerin' of a book. It's 560 pages, so it's a tome, and that is The Outsider by Stephen King, who also has another book coming out this year in September, which I am so excited about. This is about a child's murder, and that's all I want to know about it. The thing says an unspeakable crime, an abundance of evidence, and a confounding investigation. All I know is it's about a child's murder. I don't want to know any more about it. It's about a child's murder and a guy who is not from that town being suspected, and that's all I want to know, because I like going into my thrillers and horrors not knowing anything, and I especially love doing that with Stephen King because it makes his books that much better when I don't know what's coming or what they're about. And the last book that I want to get done in February, which I will probably be the first book that I read in February, because it's a big one. It's like 700 pages, I believe. Yeah, it's 700 pages, and that's Sleeping Beauties. I didn't get to it last month. I really wanted to, but I just could not do it. 700 pages is a big, big tome, and it takes me forever to read Stephen King. So yeah, this is basically about a community of women who basically are sleeping, and they're in like these cocoon sort of things. And it was written by him and his son, so I'm very excited to read this. And with that, I will see you in the next video.